being rushed, steps up in the pocket, rolls right. It's a lob pass. It's caught. Touchdown, USC.
With behind-the-scenes insights and breaking news from the student-athletes who play for the Cardinal and Gold.
Wide open. Got behind the defense and a perfectly thrown ball by a Miller Moss. Can you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 6 touchdown passes for Miller Moss.
Trojans Live is presented by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Now, live from Los Angeles, here are your hosts.
Here we go.
Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and Max Brown.
Hello and welcome to Trojans Live, presented by Monster Energy on AM 790 KBC and across the USC Trojans Media Network. I am Jordan Moore alongside Sean Cody. Welcome back, Max Brown. And we've got kind of a show that's all over the place a little bit today. We're not entirely sure what the schedule is going to be. Football practice is running a little bit long, so I think we're going to do the show in reverse order, Tenet style today.
I like that.
Over under. Let's go right away. Start hot.
Oh, jeez.
We will get to that soon. Trojans Live is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casino, a proud partner of USC football. And when you've got good beer and good vibes, it's all Buena. Stone Buena Vesa Salt and Lime Lager is Baja inspired. Imported from San Diego, located near you at fine.stonebrewing.com. All right, let's start with our football roundtable, and we will tee up the guests that we've got coming up in the show. I mean, the headliner for the show, guys, our first conversation with the new defensive coordinator, Danton Lynn. Very excited about that. I think ultimately he is the pivot person around which this season swings, and looking forward to hearing from him, to meeting him, and figuring out the plan to get this thing turned around in a hurry.
Yeah, he's been quite the conversation piece for the whole offseason. Obviously, when you have a big move like that at a program like USC, it's going to be a talking point. And got to see him in action this weekend on Saturday out there with his crew, with Coach Entz and Henderson and Belk, and they were out there running around. Had a lot of juice out there this weekend. Liked what I saw. So good start for them, and I'm sure he'll have a ton to say about where this program needs to go and what kind of guys they need in his program and what kind of bodies he likes. And I got a ton of questions, Jordan. So I'm super excited for him to come on.
Yeah, it feels like so much has been made of the weight gains over the past 3 months, which is always a talking point this time of year. But it feels like especially the case this year with not only a new regime defensively coming in, but also heading to a new conference where that's going to be even more front of mind. But yeah, with Danton Lynn, he's done this before, which that's what I'm most excited about. UCLA came in last year. That was not a good defense 2 years ago, and then one of the best defenses in the Pac-12, if not the best defense in the Pac-12 last year. So he's done this before, and one of my first questions to him is going to be, last year was his first year at the college ranks. I think that's a lot to build on, and even for himself, not having to learn that style of game and what you need to get acclimated to, hopefully goes a long way in year 2 for him.
Yeah, it's it's year 1 for him, but because it's year 3 of Lincoln Riley, there's a sense of urgency that, hey, something needs to get done in year 1 of Danton Lynn. What can he do, Sean? I mean, talk to the fans a little bit in terms of what's realistic and maybe what's unrealistic to do. Take what you saw last season and turn it into what you want it to be.
Well, I think the sky's the limit right here. You see what he did with UCLA. Max touched on that and how fast he got it turned around there. And I think when you listen to Coach Riley speak, it's been about development, right? He's huge on taking the guys we have right now and turning them into the players they should be. And when you look at what Coach Lynn has done, it's that development phase that I want to see. That's why I was so excited. I'm usually not a huge practice guy, Jordan. You know me. I go out there. I don't know how
practice?
much
we talking about practice.
I'm not going to learn much watching the practice, but I really want to see what Coach Lynn was talking about, what the defensive line was talking about. I want to see him move around a little bit and get on the field. And I was really excited with what I saw, and I thought, and in terms of development, that's where it takes place, on the practice field. Those are the day in, day out grinders of not fun stuff of practice and doing that kind of stuff. That's where development happens. And so I think that's where Coach Riley wants to see that improvement. And that's what hopefully something Coach Lynn can bring.
What did he do, Max? I mean, you're a guy that loves to put the film on. What did you see at UCLA last year that all of a sudden they were very good defensively, and they were not very good defensively before he got there?
The first thing that jumps out is they played a lot of guys. So if you're in this 2 deep at USC, you look on that film, if you can play, you're going to find your way on the field. I think that is the flip side of it. He had a lot of talent on that UCLA defense too, which it sounds like he's trying to figure out who are those guys on this USC defense. But front seven wise, I think that he can just throw a lot at you. I feel like in Lincoln's presser, so much of it is about, hey, the versatility that Danton brought to his defenses and the ability to adjust to offenses last year. Well, that comes by running different schemes, having versatile edge rushers and linebacker type bodies, which we have with the a la Eric Gentry and guys like that. So I think for me in spring with him. It's figuring out, hey, here's the pieces that I have, and here's how I think I'm going to utilize them in the fall. But obviously, we won't know exactly how it's going to shake out until August.
Yeah, and I think, watching their defense play last year, it wasn't to me, it didn't look like a ton of pressure, and he wasn't trying to bring a lot of stuff. He had guys that were making plays. You look at the Murphy twins or Latu, it was what they were doing. Those guys were making plays for him. So he's going to call on that front seven. He's going to call on those guys to try to win one-on-ones and not just try to dial up a lot of exotic stuff. And that's the way I think you can keep that back and a little more safe. And that's why I thought they had a lot of success last year.
Yeah, and we are also expected to talk to Kamari Ramsey here tonight. Kamari is a safety who transferred over from UCLA to USC. And I'm wondering, guys, and the questions I certainly have for him, how much will it help Danton Lynn? It seems like in this new era, it used to be the linebacker was the quarterback of the defense, but the more and more we've talked to DCs in the last decade, they often talk about safeties being quarterbacks back there as well, if not even more so. How much do you think it'll help having somebody that already speaks his language in that locker room?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, to have a guy like that, you think about the safety, that position, they're going through all the coverages, right? Typically a linebacker is going to tell the defensive lineman kind of where to line up, maybe call the play, but that back end is really ran by the safeties and what kind of coverages, making sure everyone's on the same page, who's got what, where it's going to go. So it's really important to have a guy like that come with you. I mean, I'll look at Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams. What they were able to do. They come as a package, and then they can spread the gospel a little bit, right? So I'm sure Coach Lynn's going to lean on Kamari to kind of spread my message. What am I about? Let these guys know what kind of defense we were running, and have a guy in there. It just can't be nothing but, I think, help.
Yeah, there's actually 2 UCLA players too. John Humphrey, a corner, who's come over as well.
Totally, and I think not only the familiarity, but that was a position of weakness last year for this defense, and so you're kind of checking both boxes off of, hey, a leader, familiarity, and then, that's a position of need as well, and especially nowadays with, hey, defenses for the most part playing 3 safeties on the field the majority of the time, that can't be a position of weakness because you're going to need so many bodies to play there.
Yeah, and the other person that we expect to talk to tonight is Bryson Shaw, and he's interesting in this whole mix to me because he was part of that Holiday Bowl defense that all of a sudden we turned up in San Diego and just looked different. And that, outside of the new coaches and the new philosophy and all of that, just all of a sudden, Sean, they were tackling better, they were hitting harder, they just seemed a little bit more engaged and locked in defensively into the game plan. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to get his brain take on what happened in that game. I know my man Taylor Mays was out there, maybe he had something to do with it, and Taylor Mays is still on the staff, so good things from that. But yeah, it would be interesting to pick his brain on last year, the transformation, how hard it was to go through that, and then where can this thing go when just with a few weeks with Coach Lynn, where do you think this thing's going to head? So it'll be fun to talk to him, I think.
All right, looking forward to it. As I said, we're sort of doing it in reverse order. If you're watching us live on YouTube, we appreciate it. Stick around with us. We still expect to get Danton Lynn, Bryson Shaw, Kamari Ramsey, and maybe Temi Ojora as well from USC women's track and field. It's all a little bit up in the air, but we're having fun and hanging out with you. Please hang out with us as well. Want the inside scoop on this game and all things Trojans? Be sure to sign up for the 3 Torches presented by Smart and Final. It's a free newsletter that'll hit your email inbox 3 times a week with game info, player insights, and more. Go to usctrojans.com/3torches and sign up. And don't wait until game time to plan for retirement. Open your free iTrust Capital account today and get your crypto IRA. iTrust Capital is the official cryptocurrency platform of the USC Trojans. Back with more Trojans Live next.
Blue 42.
Give me the energy to catch the ball, to blow by the defense, to crush whatever comes at me, to win the division, the conference. A ring?
Monster Hydro helps Grunk perform at his best every day with the energy and electrolytes your body needs to win on or off the field.
Monster Hydro, advanced hydration for everyday performance, hard charging hydration.
It's time to recharge, reconnect, and rediscover your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino. And with your resort favorites back in action, there's all of the excitement and comfort you love with the peace of mind you can depend on. So whenever you're ready for a little rest, a little relaxation, and a lot of fun, we'll be here. Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino today.
Ralph's always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower-than-low prices. And when you download the Ralph's app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. And with a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. So you can always save big every day with our savings and rewards. Ralph's, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Tommy Trojan is at the 10, the 5, touchdown, USC! Make big plays on the field and in life. With iTrust Capital, you can buy and sell crypto 24/7 with the tax benefits of a retirement account. That's right, invest in crypto with the tax advantages of an IRA. iTrust Capital is easy to use and has no sign-up fees. Don't be a Monday morning quarterback. Make big plays now. Visit iTrustCapital.com to start investing today. iTrust Capital, the official cryptocurrency platform of the USC Trojans. Taxes and conditions may apply. Fees apply. Cryptocurrencies are a speculative investment.
Looking for the play of the day? That's easy. Fight on to victory with USC and fly on faster with ONT, the fastest and easiest airport experience in SoCal. Not to mention, Ontario International Airport has over 65 nonstop flights to more than 20 major destinations with less traffic coming in and out. In other words, getting here is a breeze, and so is following our Trojans anywhere the season takes them. Because let's be honest, faster is always better when it comes to your airport. Start planning your next journey today at SoCalSoEasy.com.
We take a break from debating blue versus red to focus on colors we can all agree on.
Let's do it!
It's Trojans Live with Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and Max Brown. Also a good color.
Welcome back to Trojans Live.
I like that. That's a new mix. I've been here 5 years. It's like a new mix right there.
You talking about the song or the joke that they made about your name?
The joke about the name.
Yeah.
It's good. I like that. That's how you know you've made it.
Just trying to keep things fresh around here, man. They do a great job getting us in and out of breaks. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and the aforementioned Max Brown. As I mentioned, we're sort of doing things in opposite order tonight, so we usually end with our over-under, but I think we're going to fire it up now, guys.
I like it early. You know what? I think my brain's working good early. I think I'm going to be on top of this.
There's a 0% chance that you have a lot of knowledge on this topic, but we're going to find out. The over-under is presented by Pechanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC Athletics. Sean Cody, where are you going after this show?
Oh, I'm going to the basketball game to watch the women's basketball team in the bracket here. I'm excited. We got the family here. We're going over, man. We're pumped for Trojan basketball tonight.
I am headed there as well. I will be calling the game, pulling a little double duty tonight. So you're over under 1.5 Pac-12 women's basketball teams that will make the Final Four this year.
Ooh, you were kidding about my knowledge.
Stanford won.
Well, let me lay it out for you. USC is a 1 seed. Stanford and UCLA are both 2 seeds. This is the best league in America this year. Utah's still in the tournament, Colorado's still in the tournament, and Oregon State's still in the tournament.
So you're telling me we have 8 teams?
6.
Six
nice
teams? Sorry. That's why I'll stick to football. 6 teams. There's only 30 teams left? Not even?
Yeah, I mean, after tonight, the Sweet 16 will be set.
Hammer the over.
What's the line again?
1.5 to get to the Final Four.
Oh, Final Four.
I'm going over. So I'm going over, yeah.
Yeah. So you would need the Pac-12 to represent half the Final Four.
I'll take it.
I got to look at the bracket again. I want to see
they're battle tested. Lie. They're battle tested. That'll come through.
You should have given me a little heads up on this, Jordan. I would have been a lot more prepared for this.
But it would be a lot less fun.
Yeah. I'm gonna go under just the Trojans, baby, in the Final Four.
All right, I like that. That's fine with me. I certainly don't need to be out there rooting for UCLA, but they got a good squad this year as well. No, looking forward to tonight's game, USC versus Kansas. If you're watching us live on YouTube, you can stay with us in the USC Trojans Media Network, and I'll have the call, but the game's going to be on ESPN as well. So, just a huge opportunity. They're expecting more than 9,000 people at the Galen Center for this one. And, USC versus Kansas looks good. And Marquis, Kansas is a pretty good team. I did my prep on them. And I think the Trojans are in for a battle tonight.
Who do we got to hold on their team? What can I be watching for,
Jordan? Well, they have a 6'6" center.
Ooh, 6'6".
And, so size is the one thing that, I worry about a little bit with this USC team at times. They've gotten better as the season has gone on dealing with size, but a 6'6" center, the all-time shot blocking leader in Kansas history. That's going to be a little bit of a problem. They have their own star freshman, 5-star freshman, but you know what they have a lot of? they have a lot of what they're calling super seniors. And this is what it's
COVID
become.
year.
Yeah, this is what it's become is it's so much better. This was the debate. I don't know if you guys saw a lot of this. It's just people just telling John Calipari he's doing it wrong because you would rather have a 23-year-old than a super talented 18-year-old. Do you believe that take?
I don't know. Yeah, the one remember, it was all about the one and done, and now you think you can stack all these old guys up. Now maybe you got a chance. You always think about BYU, and when they got some good teams, and they always got those old guys out there rolling out with families and stuff. So it's always an interesting take which way you would go with that.
Yeah, when it's John Wall and Anthony Davis, it's a little bit different than insert lottery pick 10 and 13 or whatever. So you can definitely win with still a true freshman, especially if it's a Juju type of talent, of course. But give me the NBA or the WNBA players first, and I'll figure out the rest.
I'm ready to see Coach B out there, man.
Yeah, we had Coach B on Beth Burns last week, Max. Sean made quick friends. The defensive coordinator for women's basketball. But it's funny, you say they brought in Juju Watkins, and obviously she's the star, and she is a freshman. But her surrounding cast, fifth-year seniors. The 3 Ivy League transfers all had full careers. They are all adults. They brought in adults in the room, and it made life a lot easier on their star freshmen.
And that's what Coach B was talking about, right? Everyone hears the name Juju Watkins, and you think, oh, she's just carrying the team. But she mentioned all those guys, all those gals that are ready to hold the fort down, even if Juju's not having maybe a great night.
You ever seen Juju play in person, Max?
No, TV a couple times, and third time tonight.
Yeah,
not in person.
Pretty big time. We'll see what she's got in store tonight in her second NCAA tournament game. USC versus Kansas coming up 7 p.m. tip time across the USC Trojans Media Network. All right, we hear our guests are on the way. Oh yeah, we're getting a lot of positive energy off screen, guys. We've got guests coming up on Trojans Live.
USC Trojan fans, Smart Stop Self Storage is ready for game day. Smart Stop Self Storage is committed to making the self-storage experience easy and hassle-free for all Trojan fans. Whether you're storing your Trojans tailgate gear, need temporary storage while moving to a new home, or need a storage solution for your business, we're here for you with convenient locations throughout Southern California. Smart Stop Self Storage, the smarter way to store. Visit smartstop.com to reserve your space today. Fight on. Fight on.
Introducing Stone Fight On Pale Ale, with a balanced blend of hops and a deep golden color as vibrant as the Southern California sunshine. Stone Fight On Pale Ale is brewed to be the perfect companion for the beach, the tailgate, or cheering on the Trojans. Stone Fight On Pale Ale is best enjoyed by holding a can in one hand and raising a V for victory with the other. Find Stone Fight On Pale Ale near you at find.stonebrewing.com. That's find.stonebrewing.com. Stone Brewing is a proud partner of USC Athletics.
You don't have to train and compete at an elite level to enjoy the benefits of Honey Stinger products. Honey Stinger produces fuel for athletes of all kinds, using delicious honey and organic ingredients. Not only is honey rich in antioxidants, but it's also easily digested and absorbed quickly into the system to help you prepare, perform, and recover. Turn to Honey Stinger to achieve your performance goals and feel better along the way. Honey Stinger, official nutrition partner of USC Athletics.
We are Life Law, where we make injury law simple. We have 2 simple goals for all of our clients: full medical recovery and ultimately full monetary compensation. We understand that it can be overwhelming to face the uncertainty in the wake of an accident. We will be there with you at each step in the legal and healthcare process. You will pay nothing unless we win your case. Dial 1-800-LYFE-LAW or check us out at lyfe.com. Life Law, official sponsors of USC Athletics.
Some believe spring to be baseball season. It's always Trojan football season. Let's get you back to more Trojans Live with Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and Max Brown.
What's up, Coach? Max Brown, good to see you again.
Welcome back to Trojans Live. Our coach interview is presented by iTrust Capital, the official crypto platform of the USC Trojans. And Monster Energy is the official energy drink of USC. Unleash the beast. Time to unleash that USC defense, and we've got him in the chair, the new defensive coordinator, Danton Lynn. Welcome to the Trojan family. Welcome to Trojans Live. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Max Brown with you. Coach, I think everyone was excited about the news when you joined up. Well, what was the determining factor or factors for you to take this gig?
You know, a school like this, just with the history, the tradition, the success that this program has had over the years, it was a hard opportunity to turn down, especially with a head coach that's going to score points like this. So I was super excited.
Coach, we had Coach Riley on a couple of weeks ago, and we talked to him about what was important to him and finding his right piece for defensive coordinator. And what from your angle, you have to make some hires too to put your staff together. What was the final verdict to find those kind of guys? The right pieces for your system.
You're right. We didn't want just the best staff. We wanted the right staff. So I feel like you look at our staff now, it's a staff that complements each other well. You have experience in the NFL. You have experience in college. You have guys who've been coordinators. You have guys who've been head coaches. So it's a very versatile staff.
Yeah.
You made the comment of, you're going to a head coach that's going to score points, which naturally it's like, of course. But we live in an era now where, and we live it sometimes of, Lincoln Riley, it's hard to be a defensive coordinator because they're putting up so many points and your guys are always on the field and all that. And you hear the other side just as much as you hear your point you just made. How do you assess that dynamic, especially in this new era of football with a coach like Lincoln Riley who is always on the gas?
You know what? I love an aggressive offense. I think that definitely changes the way you have to call a defense at times. But I'm never going to complain about an offense that scores points. Never going to complain about that.
What are the principles of a Danton Lynn defense? Philosophically, what can people expect?
We put a big emphasis on 3 things. Obnoxious communication. We want guys talking a lot, like pre-snap and post-snap, whether it's about our call, checks, over communicating that, but any information about the offense too. Back location, tight end, splits. We put a big emphasis on effort. I know everyone does that, but it's something that we really emphasize. Like all 11 guys, every single play. Not every other play, but every single play, and then attacking the ball. So we want to attack the ball off the quarterback, off the ball carrier, in the air. We're always trying to attack the ball because we know if we can get the ball to our offense, they're going to do good things with it.
Coach, we've heard a lot about Coach Wiley. Obviously had a big offseason with the guys. Coach talked about the amount of pounds they put on. For you, is that a big deal? I know some coaches are into the body type thing. Or are you looking more just about the kind of dog that's in the guy, or do you like to specify body types by position?
I mean, it's a good combination of both. Okay. I think you definitely want certain body types, and you have marks that you're trying to hit, but at the same time, as you know, there's certain guys that just have something in them that they might be a little undersized, they might be a little short, they might not be, they might be a little.
I played with a couple guys who have bad bodies, Coach. I mean, they look terrible. This guy can't play, but
it's the way they
roll him out there.
Yeah, it's the way they play. Yeah. So there's definitely that combination of both. I think you don't want to take a risk on too many of those guys, but at the same time,
I wasn't one of those bad body guys.
Look at this thing.
Specimen.
Oh, that's great. Coach, I had the pleasure of calling your Week 2 game last year when you were at UCLA, and I remember a lot of the conversation around then was you adjusting to the college ranks that whole off season, and we were talking about things like the hash marks and how different that changes what you can call. Obviously in the NFL, hash marks are tighter together, and there's maybe different blitz packages you can get to and all those different things. You're not having to adjust to those things as much this offseason. What lessons did you learn last year in year 1 at the college ranks that you're able to either take with you now in year 2, or you're not learning those aspects as much, you're able to spend time elsewhere?
And, coming into this year is a huge difference. Last year, everything was completely new. There were some formations that I'd never seen before. There were some unbalanced looks that I was like, I didn't know you could do this. So now, coming into this year, it's more of towards the end of the year, we were always tweaking some things as we went. But when the season ended, there was a list of things that I was like, man, if I could go back, I would do this, 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 and this. So to come here, it was, all right, that's our starting point now. But now you're getting in a room with guys who have been doing it for a long time too, trying to get ideas from everywhere, just trying to find the best way.
You're listening to USC defensive coordinator Danton Lynn. And, Coach, you did last year exactly what everyone's hoping you can do this year, which is turn around a defense in a hurry. What's the key to doing it in a year and not having to be a 2, 3, 4-year project?
Taking it one step at a time. Our goal there was let's just be better than we were the year before. And we had our head down. We took it one step at a time. And at the end of the year, we picked up our heads and we liked where we were at. But we definitely weren't looking down the road. It was just one day at a time.
Coach, watching your defense last year, it seemed like the pass rush was really a paramount in your defense. Guys, winning one-on-ones, not just you, the ability to dial up packages. How does that transfer here? Is that the same kind of approach you're taking? You need guys you're teaching. We want to win one-on-one, so we can kind of help that back end a little bit. Is that the approach?
Yeah, I think the more you can affect the quarterback with 4, the more that opens up everything. That more that opens up your coverages, the more that opens up your pressures, your sims. You always want to be in a situation where you pressure because you want to, not because you have to.
Yeah.
So that's definitely our goal at the end of the spring.
When you look at your just resume the past couple of years, you have Chip Kelly and Lincoln Riley, 2 of the best offensive minds our game's had the past couple decades. What does that mean for you that they're giving you that vote of confidence as their guy defensively, knowing how accomplished they are on the offensive side of the ball?
It means a lot. It's an honor, and it's something I don't take lightly at all. And I feel like it's made me a way better coach. Just the looks and the plays and the schemes that you're able to see and handle in practice. It gives you a lot of confidence as a defensive coach going into any game on Saturday.
You're listening to Danton Lynn, the USC defensive coordinator. And if you recognize the last name, it's because he's the son of Anthony Lynn, a guy that we've seen coach in the NFL for a very long time. And I'm just wondering, this is sort of an off-the-board question. We've seen a lot of successful sons of coaches in football. Thinking of Kyle Shanahan, with the Niners and so many others. Is it because you grew up around the game? Is it because your dad was a great tutor for you? What do you think it was that made you be able to be a coach at such a young age and already an accomplished coach?
Yeah, I think it's just growing up around the game. I was born when my dad was in college and playing at Tech, so I was always around the team. When my dad retired, I was still in elementary school, so I started going to the office. I was in his position rooms and OTAs. I was always a ball boy every single camp. So you're just always around the game. And then when I finally got a chance to coach, you don't realize at that age you're learning so much without actually realizing that you're learning anything. And then you just see it all apply now.
Coach, you got a chance to bring in Coach Henderson at the defensive line position, and he obviously has some friends. I saw him out there, Aaron Donald running around. That's not too bad to have that. Maybe one of the best defensive tackles that ever played the game, or defensive players that ever played the game out there in the field. What has Coach Henderson brought to this group in the couple weeks he's been here?
I mean, it's been awesome. Just his energy, his enthusiasm, and then, again, just what he's going to add to us from a schematic standpoint, too. I got a chance to coach with him for a year, and then we split up after that.
Okay.
And, I've had success, he's had success, but we've done things completely different. So it's been great to be able to get together again and then see different ideas about how I've been doing things, but then also tweaking this because he's been doing it like this.
Yep.
When you look at goals for spring ball, to me it's always an interesting question when it's what do you think we're going to figure out at the end of spring ball? And it's we're not really going to know a whole lot because you obviously need fall camp and get into actually playing real life ball. But from a coach's perspective, especially in year one, what are those goals or checklists that you're looking to attack the summer already accomplished?
Well, we're not going to get the entire playbook in spring, but at the end of spring, you want to feel like you have a good, strong foundation as far as your pillars, as far as your main fronts, your main coverages, your core pressures, and you want those guys to not just know it, but you want those guys to understand it. Because I think when they understand it now, when we add the piles in camp, it makes it easier. And we want to somewhat find an identity. We're going to be multiple, but as far as what is our calling card, what's that? What's our go-to? That's based off of the players. I'm not the type of coach where I'm going to say we're this type of team and then we don't have those type of guys and I sit there and wait till we get those guys. No, we're going to figure that out in the spring and we're going to find a way to put these guys in the best position.
Coach, we can't talk about specific names yet, but there was a lot of positive recruiting energy coming out of the weekend. What do you feel like message-wise is hitting with this next generation, particularly on the defensive side of the ball?
I think just with us going into the Big Ten, it's a new era, new defense. I think players are excited. I think we have a great coaching staff, and I think everyone's really getting a chance to see that on display.
Haven't been here too long yet, Coach, but have you had any oh man, I'm coaching at USC. Kind of, this is like a cool moment. You've been some great places, obviously, in your career already at a young age. But this is a special place. And have you had one of those moments yet where it's wow, I'm coaching at USC?
When you walk past the Sean Cody plaque, it's all right, I'm here.
My first day at practice, I kind of had that. I remember coming to the USC camp when I was in high school, and there's just something about this place. Just all the tradition and the players who have come here and no offense, but you look at all the offensive guys who have come through here, but to me, there's still a defensive school.
Hey, you're not offending Sean.
And there's just so many great defensive players who have been here, and to be able to be on the same field as them, not just players but coaches as well, it's an honor.
Sean's still waiting for that Trojan War 2 documentary about the 2004-2005 defense.
We need another Leinart and Reggie Bush documentary. Come on.
All right, thank you, Coach. Again, welcome to the Trojan family. It's great to have you, everyone. Looking forward to seeing what you could do with this defense. They can take a look. The USC spring game is April 20. It'll kick off around at noon at the Coliseum. So come check out the spring game. And we've got a couple players coming up, too. We're going to get to talk to. Kamari Ramsey is next. He came over from UCLA as well and is a safety on this team. So stay tuned for Kamari Ramsey on Trojans Live.
Blue 42.
Give me the energy to catch the ball, to blow by the defense, to crush whatever comes at me, to win the division, the conference. A ring?
Monster Hydro helps Grunk perform at his best every day with the energy and electrolytes your body needs to win on or off the field.
Monster Hydro, advanced hydration for everyday performance, hard charging hydration.
Calling all Trojans. It's football season, which means it's tailgating season. And the beer you need to grab for every USC football game is Modelo. Modelo is a new proud partner of the USC Trojans. So all season long, whether you're at the Coliseum or at home watching the Trojans, you need to have a Modelo in hand. Modelo and USC football. It's the perfect combination for all your game day rituals. Modelo, the fighting spirit of the USC Trojans. Fight on.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when you can get live sports and TV for less with Fubo TV? Watch your teams, shows, news, and more on over 100 channels. Plus, on-demand entertainment, including full TV series. All on your TV, phone, and tablet. No cable or satellite dish required. There's no contract, no hidden fees, and you can cancel anytime. Try Fubo TV for free at FuboTV.com. That's FuboTV.com.
It's time to recharge, reconnect, and rediscover your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino. And with your resort favorites back in action, there's all of the excitement and comfort you love with the peace of mind you can depend on. So whenever you're ready for a little rest, a little relaxation, and a lot of fun, we'll be here. Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino today.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of USC Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
Football in the spring? Well, as long as it's not the UFL. It's Trojans Live with Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and Max Brown.
Hey, Trojan fans, did you know the Ralph's app gives you easy access to weekly sales and personalized coupons? You can earn fuel points too. Check out the app today and save while you cheer us on to another great season. Ralph's, proud partner of USC Athletics. Back on Trojans Live, Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Max Brown, and we are joined by our best in the game, Kamari Ramsey, brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of USC Athletics, helping the world keep promises. Kamari, you come over from UCLA, your first year here at USC. What went into that decision? You're a local guy, and now playing for the Trojans.
First things first, Coach Lynn leaving, that was a big loss. After playing with him for 1 year, I loved his defense, NFL-style defense. I've always watched the Ravens play. That's where a lot of his scheme has came from. So that played a major factor. And then the business program here as well also played a major factor into me coming here just because UCLA didn't have a business program or undergraduate business program. So, and that was something I wanted to pursue. So those are two major factors.
Yeah, talk a little bit more about Coach Lynn and his kind of defense. Obviously, you guys had a great year on defense at UCLA. What does he bring? Why is it so safety friendly? I guess on that back end.
It's very aggressive, and for my play style as a versatile safety, he puts me in many different positions to make plays, and he's always playing to my strength. So sometimes you gotta play to your weaknesses, and your weaknesses might get exposed here and there. But as far as his scheme, and he's always gonna put you in the best position to make plays.
I remember when I covered your guys' game early on last season, we were talking with Coach Lynn, and he was like, hey, keep an eye out on this dude. He's the guy that's had a big offseason, and you're the name that was highlighted all over our board. What allowed you to have or make such a big jump in the offseason last year that made you such a staple in UCLA's defense a year ago? And how do you build upon that now as you're being more of a veteran type of guy and not a youngster?
It just started with my mindset going into spring ball, just being locked in, taking that as my opportunity to show the coaches that I could play, because there was a new defense coordinator at the time. So just showing him that I could play, and then I had great players around me. Like you've seen the defense, the plays that we all made. So I just had a great team, and we just bought into the scheme. And once we bought in, we was just one as a unit.
You're listening to Kamari Ramsey on Trojans Live. And Kamari, usually when you think of a transfer or a freshman, any sort of newcomer, they're sort of behind and need to catch up in a program. But because you're the one that has the advanced knowledge on the defensive coordinator, how much are you helping out your new teammates in trying to understand exactly what Coach Lynn wants them to do?
Yeah, that's the main thing I've been trying to do is help others and get everybody else up to speed and try to be an extension of the coach on the field. So that way we all get the scheme down, and that way once fall camp hits, it's not like we're trying to catch up or anything. We already know what we're doing, and we're real comfortable.
What's that? I've talked to Max about this a little bit. The transfer process. You're going from one team and you're coming into another team. It's a whole new locker room. The guys, you got to kind of feel out the guys. You might know some guys, you might not. So, what's that process like walking into a new locker room?
It's been an easy transition. They've welcomed me with open arms. I knew a couple players on the team. J-Rock, both from 661 Palmdale. So
there you go. Palmdale in the house.
Yeah, sir. So it was an easy transition because we all got the same goal. Everyone wants to win. We all want to win. You know what USC is, what the tradition is. So we just want to win. So we all buying in. Everybody's open to bringing each other, new people in, and just being open to each other.
Yep. Feels like in years past, the safety position here, it's been guys that are either like true free safeties or true strong safeties. Had Hufunga, who's much more of a strong safety a few years ago, and Bullock last year, much more of a center field type of safety. Where do you think you fall into that? Do you like the more strong safety role or the free safety role, or maybe even nickel, which we were talking about in the previous segment? How do you assess that?
I really don't try to put myself into a category. I feel I could play both. I show strengths at both, so I play both.
You have a new secondary coach in Doug Belka. What's work with him been like?
It's been really good. He's been teaching a lot of different techniques, a lot of knowledge. He's put a lot of people in the NFL, so it's good to get a different young position coach too. So he relates to us too. So yeah, it's good. He's been good to us.
I heard you guys had a crawfish boil on the field after practice the other day, man. Have you been to a crawfish boil before? Did you know the proper etiquette at a crawfish boil when they just roll that stuff on the table?
No, sir.
First one, huh?
Crawfish is not really. I feel
not
like
a staple in Palmdale?
Who sparked this? Who sparked
it's
this?
Not really. I don't know. It's not really for me because it's like you gotta.
A lot of
work.
A lot of work and
not a lot
little,
of meat on
little
that bone.
food. Yeah, so I wasn't really too fine with it. It wasn't really my taste for real, but it was good to us bonding outside of practice though, so that was good.
Do they not usually throw like some shrimp or some sausage in there?
Oh
too?
no, yeah, they for sure.
You're eating that.
Yeah,
You're leaving sausage.
yeah.
You're like, this is a lot less work and a lot more fun.
Yes, sir.
You guys probably had that all the time with Orgeron.
Oh yeah, we had gumbo. We had etouffee. Yeah, we had all the Southern classics with the Coach O. Yeah, we learned. There's actually like a process to get it out. If you can like kind of rip that thing and just kind of pinch and pull, like you got to know the process, or else it's a lot of work.
Too much work.
And then it's still dirty too. So like once you open it, so yeah, I didn't really like that.
How does the safety assess the move to the Big Ten? I feel like, you make so much of it as, the West Coast ball is much more spread, air raid type of schemes. And then Big Ten, like gear up, cold weather, coming downhill. And then especially for a position like yourselves, like how do you approach that?
Just football is physical. No matter who you're playing, where you're playing, what time you're playing, football is physical. So no matter if we're in the Big Ten, SEC, Pac-12, it doesn't matter who we play on defense or playing football in general, you got to be physical to play this game.
What are we getting in John Humphrey? We mentioned him earlier, is another guy who you played with last year, is coming over here to USC.
Oh, length, speed, size. John Humphrey is one of the most freakiest athletes I've ever seen. Just he could do everything. He has the size, he has the speed. He's a technician, has a good press, long arms. Like, he's just a freak athlete, and that was actually a good piece with him coming over too. Only
a couple practices into spring ball, and you got a ways to go to the game. But, what are you trying to get out of this spring ball when you look at it, when it finishes up? Where's something you want to progress at?
Just everything, really. Just knowing my run gaps, knowing my technique, staying in my technique. Pass coverage, run coverage, really just everything.
How was winter conditioning? Did we get through that? That was always the least favorite part of the calendar year, was the February winter conditioning.
Yeah, it was pretty harsh though, especially running in the stadiums and all that. But the weight room was probably the toughest, I would say, just because we were trying to get big and put on more muscle mass, just because they know what type of teams we're playing, and you got to put your body through that. So just get your body ready for that. So that was probably the biggest thing that we had to do.
They have you running the Coliseum?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's new. That wasn't when I was here.
I saw you rocking number 7. What went into that decision?
7, that's like a family number. My favorite number is 3, but that's retired. So
yeah.
And then I just
7 will be retired soon too, right?
Call him Carson.
So yeah, and I wore 27 last year, so just easy transition.
Good safety number at USC, 7. A lot of great safeties. Do a little research. This Thorpe Award winner that wore 7 and Mark Carriers, All-Americans. Kamari Ramsey next in line in that 7. Going to look it out there in the Coliseum coming up this fall. And you can catch him coming up this spring. The USC spring game is April 20 at noon at the Coliseum. So make sure you get to your tickets for that. Just USCTrojans.com/tickets. Trojans Live is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casino, a proud partner of USC football. A guy who knows something about playing safety at USC is next. It's Bryson Shaw on Trojans Live.
Good news. There's a Jersey Mike's coming to your area. You probably got a ton of questions, so I'll try to answer some. Yes, the meat and cheese for every cold sub is freshly sliced right in front of you. Yes, we grill every hot sub right in front of you. No, we do not accept pirate doubloons for payment. Yes, we have catering, 12 subs in a box. No, our restaurants are not haunted. I hope. Okay, congrats on the New Jersey Mike's. A sub above.
Blue, 42.
Give me the energy to catch the ball, to blow by the defense, to crush whatever comes at me, to win the division, the conference. A ring?
Monster Hydro helps Grunk perform at his best every day with the energy and electrolytes your body needs to win on or off the field.
Monster Hydro, advanced hydration for everyday performance. Hard charging hydration.
Tommy Trojan is at the 10, the 5, touchdown, USC! Make big plays on the field and in life. With iTrust Capital, you can buy and sell crypto 24/7 with the tax benefits of a retirement account. That's right, invest in crypto with the tax advantages of an IRA. iTrust Capital is easy to use and has no sign-up fees. Don't be a Monday morning quarterback. Make big plays now. Visit iTrustCapital.com to start investing today. iTrust Capital, the official cryptocurrency platform of the USC Trojans. Taxes and conditions may apply. Fees apply. Cryptocurrencies are a speculative investment.
Introducing Stone Fight On Pale Ale, with a balanced blend of hops and a deep golden color as vibrant as the Southern California sunshine. Stone Fight On Pale Ale is brewed to be the perfect companion for the beach, the tailgate, or cheering on the Trojans. Stone Fight On Pale Ale is best enjoyed by holding a can in one hand and raising a V for victory with the other. Find Stone Fight On Pale Ale near you at find.stonebrewing.com. That's find.stonebrewing.com. Stone Brewing is a proud partner of USC Athletics.
USC Trojan fans, Smart Stop Self Storage is ready for game day. Smart Stop Self Storage is committed to making the self-storage experience easy and hassle-free for all Trojan fans. Whether you're storing your Trojans tailgate gear, need temporary storage while moving to a new home, or need a storage solution for your business, we're here for you with convenient locations throughout Southern California. Smart Stop Self Storage, the smarter way to store. Visit smartstop.com to reserve your space today. Fight on. Fight on.
Looking for the play of the day? That's easy. Fight on to victory with USC and fly on faster with ONT, the fastest and easiest airport experience in SoCal. Not to mention, Ontario International Airport has over 65 nonstop flights to more than 20 major destinations with less traffic coming in and out. In other words, getting here is a breeze, and so is following our Trojans anywhere the season takes them. Because let's be honest, faster is always better when it comes to your airport. Start planning your next journey today at SoCalSoEasy.com.
Spring is in the air, and so are footballs.
Heads up!
Let's get you back to more Trojans Live with Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and Max Brown.
Energy drink of USC. Unleash the beast and fight on Trojans and fly on with ONT. Ontario International Airport is a proud sponsor of our USC Trojans. Visit SoCalSoEasy.com to book your journey through ONT today. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Max Brown. And a frequent friend of the program, Bryson Shaw, joins us now, veteran safety here. It's nice to get to know somebody in college athletics now, Bryson. We're always getting to know new people with the way it works here, but you're headed into your third season at USC, and there has been some change for you. We just talked to Coach Lynn. We just talked to one of your new teammates. What are you seeing out on the practice field and in the weight room that feels different?
Yes, sir. It's a refreshing, exciting energy in the building for sure. First practice spring ball, you could tell right away the energy was off the charts. It's just a kind of a new vibe, and it's a refreshing, clean slate for everybody. And then a lot of mix with the young new guys and new transfers. Great energy. It's going great. Great start for us.
Not to bring up last year too much, but I thought the bowl game was a big moment for this team. It seemed like everyone, it was a tough season for the team in a lot of ways. But in that bowl game, you see guys, it seemed like it ended in the right taste in your mouth. You know what I mean? So take us through that bowl game experience with a tough season that the defense had, able to bounce back in that bowl game.
For sure, having played in 5 seasons, I can tell you all that bowl season, that bowl practice, that was the most fun time for me playing football, and I can tell you a lot of the other guys feel the same way. It was just kind of we wanted to end it the right way. That season was very tough, for all of us, and it was just not a good feeling. And then a lot of guys opted out of that bowl game, and it was just we could have either folded, and we came together, had a player ran meeting, and some guys talked, including myself. Was like, listen, this is how we're going to go about things. Like, we got to end this the right way. Yep. I mean, this is a new slate. I mean, it's not the same team that it just was. Like, we got to start this thing off right. It's a 1-game season, and it was just. It was great experience for us.
And do you carry over that motivation and leadership into this offseason where it's a chip on the shoulder because of what happened last year? Or is it more, hey, clean slate, new staff defensively, let's not even think about last year? It feels like you could go one of two different ways. How have the leaders in the team this offseason from a conditioning standpoint been kind of handling that messaging to the guys?
Right, we've been looking forward, but at the same time, you got to remember kind of those scars, that you got to remember them. If you don't remember them, you're going to make the same mistakes. Stuff had to change from a cultural standpoint. Kind of the players, as players, we dropped the ball last year on a lot of fronts, and I thought kind of the culture-wise, it was one of the areas we kind of just weren't hitting the little things right last year. So we had to remember that, and we've been focusing on that stuff and just kind of holding each other accountable. So we're looking forward, but at the same time, remembering those past mistakes we made.
You're listening to Bryson Shaw on Trojans Live, and Bryson, you mentioned it. You've already played 5 seasons of college football. You are a super senior going into your 6th year. What's it like, sort of relating to some of the younger guys, taking all the experience you have, not just in football and life, and trying to lead this team? How do you impart your wisdom?
Yeah, it's crazy. Keely Arnold, he's a 6-year guy like myself. We were sitting with Marquise Gallegos and Jarvis Boatwright, and they're like, man, we were in 7th and 8th grade when the guys got here. And they say it because we're both 2000s, baby. They're like 2006, 2005, and when they say it, it's like, man, but it's definitely it's interesting. It's fun. It's very fun, kind of relating to the young guys on what you can find, and it's just crazy seeing how different they are. But it's been a blast.
We've heard about some pretty legendary workouts here in this winter with Coach Wiley. Has anything changed from last year? Obviously, it seems like the initiative is to kind of get bigger for this new conference. Have you seen the way you guys trained this year? Has that changed a bunch?
Yeah, I mean, they were on point all this winter. I can tell you that. You know, like we all know, this is my fifth, sixth, whatever it is. It was on point. You know, from start to finish, the energy was there, and you know, Coach Riley was really involved, which I thought was a good thing. You know, kind of, you know, making sure the energy was right.
Oh, when the head man's there, you got 10 more pounds on the bar
exactly.
there.
So, you know, kind of having him around, especially for the in-doc that last week, just having his presence there and kind of him setting the tone. And Coach Wiley set the tone himself, you know, the whole offseason. Couldn't have gone any better for us.
A lot's being made about the scheme change, and I think you have a unique perspective on that, having been at Ohio State, been with Grinch along the way at 2 different stops. From your perspective, what are the key pillars that stick out as maybe, hey, this is being emphasized differently, or this is a different aspect scheme-wise than I'm used to playing with?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of changes. You know, won't get too much into it, but just kind of, you know, letting them big dogs up front eat. You know, we got talent up there. You got Big Bear. You guys all know Big Bear. You know, Isaiah Race. Just kind of, I can go on and on and on, but letting them guys do their job and get it done and kind of freeing us up, it's great.
You're listening to Bryson Shaw on Trojans Live. Before Bryson came to USC, he was at Ohio State, so you have some perspective as well as we shift conferences here to the Big Ten and what quote-unquote Big Ten football is like. Obviously, that's a little bit of a changing thing as well because you're going to see, you know, UCLA and Washington on the schedule. But what is Big Ten football like? You know, how different is it? You know, what do you think the adjustment will be like for this program?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of little things that are kind of different. I can tell you guys a story on my first game that I played in was against Minnesota. It was my sophomore year at Ohio State, and they had a bunch of big guys. And, like, the whole game, they're going, like, 12, 13T personnel. Just the personnels are crazy. And the linemen, I remember, like, being able to barely see over the linemen. It's just big, and they were running Wildcat because they had I'm blanking on his name, really good running back that year Minnesota did. And, yeah, it's just downhill physical football, and it's going to be fun.
From a leadership aspect, you know, the team changes every year. You know, you go from Caleb Williams and Justin Dietich. These guys are big leaders on the team, and those guys are now gone, and those vacancies need to be filled. How does you guys go about filling those? Is it something that's talked about, or those guys just kind of step up into those roles?
Yeah, I mean, guys kind of step up. I think this year there's a lot more kind of vocal leaders on the team, and I think that's a good thing for us. Just holding each other accountable. I think that was a big thing. Like I kind of talked about, we're missing just on the little things culturally was accountability, and just now that there's more guys feeling more comfortable being leaders, it's just we're doing a great job of holding each other accountable and knowing that there's a standard, especially at USC, and it's got to be met, or if not, you know, you're going to get the same results that we had last year.
In today's era in college football, you know, it's easy to transfer. It's easy to look around and say, hey, the grass might be greener over here. You're a guy, 6th year. I'm sure, you know, those type of options were there for you, and especially with a new coach coming in, with the coach that brought you here on the way out. That's a difficult spot to be in. What kept you here? What made you want to be a Trojan and I guess continue to be a Trojan and build something here in 2024?
Yeah, I mean, I did that transferring thing once before. You know, I told myself I was never going to do that again. It's just kind of, and I love USC. I mean, this is the place to be. It is a great place. You know, the Coach Riley, he runs such a great, you know, program. I mean, we're in LA. It couldn't get any better, and just the excitement with Coach Lynn and all them coming in. Like, you know, I talked to them because, you know, there were conversations about whether I'd take my shot or, you know, what's the next step. And as soon as I talked to Coach Belk and Coach Lynn, I mean, I knew I wanted to play with those guys and just learn from them. Really, that's, you know, learn from them and, you know, help however I can. It's just, and it's been great. You know, it's still early, but I mean, I couldn't be any happier with my decision to come back. I've really enjoyed the off season, and spring ball's off to a great start, and it's just very exciting.
Sean, last week we had Caden Aoki. You complimented his mustache at the end of the show. Now we have Bryson as the final guest rocking the mustache. You want to any comments for Bryson on how he's doing with his mustache?
It's nice. It's a little bit of a lighter tone this time of year, but good color for spring. I like the spring accent. It comes a little highlighted there, and I mean, he's got a great flow up top, so that helps as well.
I appreciate that.
There you go.
The mustache is just in right now, I guess. Just rocking it. Bryson Shaw, you could see him rock it out in the Coliseum. Part of this new USC defense. Check them out at the spring game, April 20, noon kickoff at the Coliseum. Thank you, Bryson. Enjoy the rest of your spring. We've got one more segment to come on Trojans Live.
It's time to recharge, reconnect, and rediscover your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino. And with your resort favorites back in action, there's all of the excitement and comfort you love with the peace of mind you can depend on. So whenever you're ready for a little rest, a little relaxation, and a lot of fun, we'll be here. Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino today.
Your first sip of Athletic Brewing Company's non-alcoholic beer is a game changer. It tastes so good, you can't believe it's non-alcoholic. With a variety of craft beer styles from IPAs to sours, you can sip and celebrate alongside the USC Trojans' game-changing plays. Find a store near you or order online at athleticbrewing.com. First-time customers can use code USC10 to get 10% off their first six-pack at athleticbrewing.com. Near beer, fit for all times. Exclusions and conditions apply.
Honey Stinger helps you prepare, perform, and recover throughout your athletic journey. Made with delicious honey and organic ingredients, Honey Stinger provides the fuel you'll need to push harder and go farther. Turn to Honey Stinger to achieve your performance goals and feel better along the way. Discover what all the buzz is about on honeystinger.com. Use code FIGHTON30 for 30% off organic waffles, chews, gels, and bars to help you sweeten the burn. Honey Stinger, official nutrition partner of USC Athletics.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when you can get live sports and TV for less with Fubo TV? Watch your teams, shows, news, and more on over 100 channels. Plus, on-demand entertainment, including full TV series. All on your TV, phone, and tablet. No cable or satellite dish required. There's no contract, no hidden fees, and you can cancel anytime. Try Fubo TV for free at FuboTV.com. That's FUBOTV.com.
Spring is a time for rejuvenation. And Trojans Live. Once again, here are Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and Max Brown.
One final segment of Trojans Live on a Monday night. It's a game night. USC versus Kansas coming up, the NCAA tournament. It's going to tip here in about 35 minutes. So we're going to get out of here and rush right to Galen and get on the call for that. The Women's Spotlight brought to you by Sprouts Farmers Market, open 7 days a week. Visit your neighborhood Sprouts for good-for-you groceries and great prices on the freshest produce. Sean was just regaling us that you were at practice this weekend and you got to meet Aaron Donald. And again, we can't talk about the recruits by name, but I did surmise that a lot of the recruits seem to be in that general part of the field. And if Aaron Donald is telling you what to do and you're the greatest player of their generation, probably somebody whose opinion you might value.
I was trying to put my brain in that position. If I was like a high school kid coming to this practice and there walks in, maybe the best defensive player of all time, there's his coach who could coach me, like that would, it's got it must have been just an amazing feeling. And then like everything kind of aligned in that moment probably for a lot of those guys. Cause just a perfect scenario. Obviously the weather wasn't great. It was a little bit rainy, but just to see the presence of him walking around and him dapping up the coach, like, wait a second, man, I could be a part of this. Like it's got to be,
especially if you're not local. Cause I remember that feeling too, as a Seattle guy coming down here, and it is perfect weather and the first day of spring ball. And it's like the whole Hollywood that you think you're coming down to. And then when Aaron Donald's right there, that's sweet.
Who would have been that guy for you? Take us back to 2000, 2001. If all of a sudden you walked into USC practice and blank is standing there, you're going, okay, I'll do it.
Well, Ronnie Lott was always. I remember
Ronnie was there too, or was there last week at spring practice.
He's been around lately. Ronnie Lott when I was walking around. I remember that's Ronnie Lott from the NFL. He went to it was all kind of coming together in my brain. It's just hard putting yourself back in that position because you take it for granted now. You walk around. I was talking to Tuli Tuipulotu and Marlon was there. Marlon Tuipulotu was there. We got to chat for a while. So obviously two great players in their own right. But then in walks Aaron Donald. Everyone's like,
who would have been that guy for you?
My first USC practice I came to was all about Joe McKnight. He was the guy that everyone was trying to get eyes on. And then for me, wanting to wear the jersey number 4, it was like, this is peak coolness coming down to SC and getting that. But I'm prime Reggie and Matt era too. And any guys that are now on the team that say like, oh, I grew up watching Matt and Reggie. No, you didn't. It was YouTube. I'm the prime age group for that. But those two dudes were peak Trojans.
Yeah, Bryson dropped those birth years. He said, it was was a 2000 guy, but most of the guys on the team now, 2005, 2006.
Yeah, I don't even like to think about those things.
These people literally were born after you finished playing at USC, Sean.
Yeah, I feel like it too.
Well, I heard last week Miller talked about the Rose Bowl with Darnold and Saquon Barkley. And I was
his,
like,
childhood memory.
Gosh, life be speeding up.
I also thought I was teeing him up for a Matt Barkley answer, and he even went past Matt Barkley. Like, Matt Barkley was too old for him.
Yeah.
Like, he's rocking the 7, and he knew, like, Matt Barkley existed, but, like, Darnold was the USC moment for him.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's that's the game, but it also, for him, speaks to how long he's been a Trojan and why he's stuck around, which hopefully it's a big season for him.
Time to make some new memories, new stars, too, for the next generation. We got one on the women's basketball side, Juju Watkins for sure. A lot of people will be wearing 12 in the Galen Center tonight, and will be wearing 12 going forward. You got a score prediction for us tonight, Sean?
USC by a lot.
USC by more than a lot.
Ooh, double
wow.
down.
That's beautiful work, guys. Trojans Live is a production of USC Sports Properties and Playfly Sports. Our executive producer is Drew DeHart. Our producer is Rick Cutler. He was also our engineer tonight.
Double dip.
Production assistance by our entire group in here. Thank you so much. Thank you to our live studio audience, the Cody family in the house tonight. The Moore family came and went. Obviously not fully impressed, but the Cody family stuck it out, so credit to them. For Sean and Max, I am Jordan Moore. Fight on, everybody, and let's go watch women's basketball win.
You can't spell victorious without USC.
3-receiver crunch set on the left side. One back is DJ Williams. The pitch to Williams, and he'll be throwing for a loss. And the Trojans have won the game.